Hello. Today, my passion project is an overview about learning and teaching practices and comparing and contrasting them in the US and Central America. And this is a very brief overview, which could be an actually much longer presentation. My name is Tracy Service, and I have taught both in the USA and Central America, which is why I chose to compare and contrast these two parts of the world, but I feel like it could be applied to many situations. Students moving from urban schools to rural schools, religious schools to non-religious schools, different parts of the country in general, or any country coming into the USA. Now, in my opening, I would like to state that I felt like throughout my teacher's education and my experience as a teacher, I have become more passionate about culturally responsive teaching. I will call it CRT. And I always felt like I have been given many good tools for differentiation and encouraged to build positive relationships. Yet at the same time, especially when working with a very large student population, for example, an ESL population, I'm going to use that as my example, in a USA school, we are given great supports academically for language modifications and how to modify education material, but not so much the social emotional aspects. Understanding the cultural backgrounds of the students and the school environment that they come from. So I'm going to do a very quick compare and contrast in teaching and learning styles, some cultural and socioeconomic factors that could be involved, and why this is important to help give this information to teachers so that they can support students socially and emotionally in the classroom and help them be more supported and successful academically and, just growing up emotionally healthy. So, teaching styles in the US versus Central America. So, this is based on research and also my experience teaching in the US and teaching in Honduras. So, definitely, I agree on a lot of these points. In the US, the classroom is very student centered. The student is given more creativity, more technology, which is really based on funding, and there's more informal relationship between the teacher and the students. You know, build those student relationships is very emphasized. Central America, very teacher oriented, more disciplined and authoritative, like responsibilities put on the teacher. There's more memorization in the curriculum, and there's limited technology, which is slowly changing. But, even when I was training, they said, don't build relationships with your students. So, have a good rapport, of course, but. All right, so class environment. I do question class sizes, small class sizes in the USA, because I especially know that in overcrowded urban schools, this is not the case. I was very lucky in my experiences to have small class sizes, which I feel strongly about just for so many reasons. Extracurricular activities are way more emphasized and worked into the daytime, even like with more study halls. There's more modern facilities for the sciences and those testing subject matters and athletics. And schools are more inclusive for students with, disabilities, different learning needs, coming from different backgrounds. Central America, larger class sizes, very academic focused. They do have extracurricular activities, but they're more limited. limited facilities, and not as promoted and less inclusive. The teachers do try their best to make modifications for students, but the same frameworks are not set in place for these students. Educational philosophies. So in the USA, individualism is promoted, global perspective, progressive teaching styles, and of course the testing, I think, kind of is universal between the USA and Central America. In Central America, value is put on the community, like the city, and really learning self-discipline and how you're going to contribute to your community after you leave school, and national development and meeting standards of the community. As students are very, very collaborative. They naturally just depend on each other and come together. It's amazing. So socioeconomic factors. School is free, but there is a lot of inequality depending on where you live. Wealthier families have better access to quality education, and education is required generally kindergarten through your senior year. Some students graduate early, normally to go on to tech school. And in Central America, there's more challenges accessing education due to higher rates of poverty. Dropout rates are extremely high. I could not find numbers or percentages. And required education, depending on the country, Nicaragua is 7 years, Honduras is 12 years, but students are leaving early to help support their families. So all these factors have a social and emotional impact on how a student adjusts to a new school when moving to a new country. I know I even experienced this as a teacher, so I can imagine how it would be for a young student. And I feel like if we are giving our teachers more information on where our students are coming from, the places that they're coming from, that we can give our students more emotional support to be successful in the classroom. I think, great strides have come in providing our students with more academic success. And I think we can do more to guide our teachers, to support our students social, emotionally with their adjustments. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to talk more about this subject. I have a lot to say about it. And thank you so much for listening.